Hello everyone, I'm Saleha and this is Chai, Chat and Community. Tonight, I will introduce you to a very important member of the community who's doing some awesome work in the resettlement and integrations of the Afghans who have come in after the fall of Afghanistan. But before I introduce you to my very special guest, who I am absolutely in awe of, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we are meeting tonight, and I pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. Meet my very special guest, Bassir Qadiri. Bassir is the CEO of the Bakhtar Community Organization. He has been a community leader for a very long time and works at the grassroots level. He recently won the Inclusive Volunteering Award and is actively working in the resettlement of the Afghans who came to Victoria. But instead of me telling you about himself, I think he should tell you more about himself. Thank you, Bassir. Thank you so much for joining me. And as you know, I'm very, very excited. We already have people commenting, so that's very good. Mora, hello, assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Saleha. Thank you for inviting me to this beautiful and very famous, engaging platform. I'm very happy to be here. I also acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land and pay my respect to all elders, past, present, and emerging. So thank you, Saleha. Really appreciate the invitation.
Thank you. So here is Mora. And Mara says, it is very nice to see you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mora.
So Bassir, tell us something about yourself, please. You know, how you moved from Afghanistan to Melbourne, what you do and what you've been doing since you've moved.
Sure. I start by introducing myself. My name is Bassir Qadiri. Some people know me and some don't.
Everybody knows you, trust me.
Thank you, Saleh. I'm the founder and CEO of Bakhtar Community Organization. I left Afghanistan in 2006 after the completion of my bachelor's degree in literature and linguistics at the University of Kabul. I pursued my master's degree in the same field at the University of Rouen in France. Then I moved to Australia in 2009. Since I came to Australia, I have completed a postgraduate degree in project management at the Graduate Business School. I've completed that advanced diploma of interpreting at RMIT and currently studying Master of Leadership, specializing in the leadership field at Deakin University.
Wow. Why did you leave Afghanistan? That's the most important question.
Well, I had the opportunity to pursue my studies in another country, which was France. And then once I came to France, then there were other opportunities that I was engaged, and I wanted to stay. And then I came to Australia. Once I saw Australia, a multicultural country, that's something that I felt that I can be part of it. I can contribute to this beautiful country. And that's why I stayed here.
And we are so fortunate, isn't it? And how amazing that I would meet you at the volunteering award. It is just amazing.
Thank you. Yeah.
Tell us about your not-for-profit community organization, how you founded it, why you founded it.
Bakhtar Community Organization. I have been engaged personally in the community since 2009, since I arrived in Australia. I've worked with a lot of community organizations until 2017. In 2017, I have established Bakhtar Community Organization. The organization is established to help the Afghan community build social cohesion through preventative initiatives. These measures aim to address the root causes of social disharmony and racial, ethnic, and religious intolerance. Bakhtar Community Organization seeks to support the Afghan Australian community and the broader Australian community to develop a strong sense of belonging by building relationships and mutual understanding and respect for our common values and interests. Basically, the mission is for a harmonious and welcoming society, regardless of religion, ethnicity, skin color, or cultural identity. I have worked with many other community groups and organizations before 2017, and there were issues and problems and concerns that I wanted to consider those concerns and establish something that can be free of that. So, therefore, Bakhtar Community Organization is established as a first and only secular Afghan Australian organization. And since we became secular, so many community members they can see themselves within the organization. In a very short period of time, we reached to over 1,000 members and over 50
Wow.
volunteers, supporting our cause, supporting our vision, supporting our mission. We have a clear vision and mission in the community. So this has made the organization move forward. So today we have Hazara, Pashtun, Uzbek, um, Sikh community. They're all under one umbrella, and that's our strength. As we say, Australia's strength is multiculturalism. Our strength is multi-ethnical community organization, because I strongly believe if we cannot integrate within our own ethnicity differences, we can never be part of a bigger picture that's Australia, a multicultural country. So we did that, and now we are integrating into Australian society. Our support, our services is, of course, mainly for the Afghan community, but our mission is for the wider community to support everyone. Today, with the new arrivals, we're not only supporting uh, the Afghans who have been evacuated or the Afghans who are coming as a refugee, but also Ukrainians because they have seen war and
Oh, okay. Yeah.
they have had difficulties. We have received a couple of requests for a couple of families, not more, but we are open for support and the services that we have for our Ukrainian community. They can reach out to us, and our warehouse is full of material, full of household items. They can take whatever they want.
Wow. Okay. I will put this in one of the groups that has a lot of Ukrainians in the
Sure.
Glen Waverley community group, and yeah, I'll tell them that you are also helping Ukrainians who are coming in.
Yeah, Glen and Noble Park is very close because our warehouse is in Noble Park.
Yep.
They can come. Yeah, fantastic.
So at the moment, before I ask you about, okay, I have a question for you,
Yeah,
and I
please.
will show that. Thank you for watching, Chris. What is a better way of managing religious intolerance within broader communities?
Oh, we know that our strength is our diversity. With diversity, there are so many things that can be part of it. One of them is religion. Um, I personally lived in different societies with different religion. I believe accepting each other through our common values is the only way we can achieve it. For example, if I am from a Muslim background, if I see someone from my perspective, from my religion perspective, that may not blend within the wider community. So, what we need to do is to accept each other through our common value. The common value is the Australian value. Common interest. What's our common interest? The interest that Australia has given to us. So, through that, we can be connected and we can integrate. That's that's what I believe that we can achieve it.
Great, thank you. So you wear many hats. Some tell us some of the work you did during the pandemic, especially in the space of mental health and family violence, because we know these two in all our communities, whether it is white, brown, black,
Mhm.
whatever color, it's not talked about. it's always brushed under the carpet, and especially women from our part of the world, Basir, we know they will never talk about these two. Mothers will
Mhm.
never talk about mental health. Young married women, or even older women, will never talk about domestic violence because of the repercussions in the community, how they are going to be
Yeah,
judged. And I think just the shame. I think
absolutely.
in our communities, we are still not accepting mental health is as important as physical health. We still have so many barriers in seeking help. What are you doing as part of the Bakhtar Community Organization?
Well, COVID-19. So, as we all know, the COVID-19 pandemic has caused a significant disruption
Yes.
and hardship in nearly every aspect of our lives, and it continues to weigh heavily for some times until it's completely over. We all have done our part, of course, to prevent the spread of the virus and keep each other safe. During the pandemic, Bassir Community Organization has worked closely with government and called community task force and community organizations to keep the community updated about the latest information and provide necessary services to support most vulnerable and disadvantaged community members. I would like to name some of the initiatives we had during the pandemic, and then I'll touch base with the
Sure,
family violence and
absolutely.
mental health area. So during the pandemic, we established an online library, for the community to have access to reading materials in their languages. So even we have books in Urdu, Pashto, Persian, Dari, Urdu, French. So these books are accessible online. That was another way of engaging the community because everyone was practicing social distancing. This was
Yes.
something that they could look forward to. We published the first, second, third, and now the fourth is coming, Bakhtar magazine. The Bakhtar magazine covers a variety of topics, of course, again, non-religious and non-political. It's purely community and art.
And what language is that in?
Three languages, Dari and Pashto, and also we have English. So
Okay.
almost half of the magazine is in English. The English part is morely focused on introducing Afghan Australians' culture
Yes,
to the
of
wider
course.
community. We have translated hundreds of up-to-date COVID-19 information and posted through our social media platforms, organized over 50 online workshops and information sessions in Pashto and Dari, and also English, to provide the community with the latest information, including but not limited to COVID-19, family violence, mental health, employment. We had intergenerational relationships, diabetes,
Yeah,
and
that's
as
an
well as
important
health
one.
literacy. Yeah. So there were so many programs that we were really focused. And the good thing was that so many professionals from the Afghan community, they were also isolated and they had time to be engaged in the community. And we used this opportunity to engage the professionals to provide the necessary information for the community through these platforms. And we had a lot of people with a good feedback and suggestions during that time. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we provided food packages to over 700 families in the city of Casey, city of Dandenong, and Shire Cardinia. People who lost their job due to of the pandemic, people who are isolating due to of the COVID-19, and people who were vulnerable even before COVID-19, but COVID-19 put them in a further more difficulties. So these families were our first priority, such as family violence. People came from family violence and people living with mental health or disability. So they were the very first priority of our services around that time. And during COVID, besides the COVID-19 and lockdown situation, the Afghan Australian have experienced a horrible and heartbreaking event this year. You're aware of that, and that has affected everyone's mental health in the Afghan community. The fall of Afghanistan, the rapid collapse of Afghan government, forces, and the Taliban seizure of power have forced so many people in Afghanistan to run for their lives and flee the country in any way possible. So since 2000, since August, mid August 2001, And the arrival of evacuees in Victoria, Bakhtar Community Organisation partnered with Hotel Quarantine Victoria to provide interpreting service, care packages, social support. This is the part that we were providing mental health support
Yep.
and social support. Just we had a team who were calling these people at the hotel quarantine, providing them about the information about COVID-19 and also information about Australia way of life, because besides that they ran from Taliban and came to Australia, there is a cultural shock that's also
Absolutely. Yes.
needs to be seen and needs to be addressed because it's a very important part. During this uh, time of lockdown, we provided these services and we supported over 2,000 individuals with clothes, culturally appropriate clothes, food packages. Over 26,000 meals have been delivered since then until now to the new arrivals. And during that time, we have supported about 500 families to lodge their applications for their loved one who are stuck in Afghanistan. And we created a platform for them to raise questions, concerns, and share whatever information we had at that time. We were sharing those information to them. And we organized about 10 workshops, 10 emotional support programs where we invited other professionals to provide information about how to.
And are people attending, Basir? Are people attending these workshops?
These workshops were designed to deliver online through our social media platform. As you know, that we have over 16,000 followers on our social media platform, and we were going live with the programs. And each program hit, some of them have to 12,000 views.
Wow.
Yeah, therefore
So
this
people are
platform.
watching and listening.
Absolutely. During COVID-19, this platform was very engaged. We had a huge reach through our platform, not only in Victoria, but of course, people, Afghans who were living in Perth, Sydney, or other
It's the
states of
same
Australia.
information, yes.
Yep, they were watching it. That was a very a great way of communicating with people the important information because of the lockdown situation, and we had an opportunity and we used that opportunity very well at that time.
Great. I have some questions, but before that, sorry, my mouse is misbehaving. Um, how much of an unlearning does it take to migrate into a new country?
Sorry, what was that? How much of?
How much of an unlearning does it take when you migrate to a new country? You know, we all, you're from Afghanistan, I'm from India. I think we have our own cultural issues which we
Mhm.
do tend to carry back with us, isn't it, to our country where we migrate to. So how much of
Absolutely.
it do you language is a big issue, you know. I mean, I can tell you, police is another issue,
Mhm.
where I know in India, if you are in trouble, the last person you will go to is the police, because
Yep.
the police take money. You don't know who's honest, who's not. But here, the police is your first person you will call. 000
Mhm.
is the first number you call if you are, you know, if
Mhm.
you are in a problem.
When we are coming from a different country, from the different culture, of course, there are certain elements that we need to learn from that society in terms of um, integrating, but not only integrating. The integration is not starting at that point. But first of all, we need to understand where we're going, what the society is like, at least a little bit of information about their rule, law, and values. Then it comes the integration process, I believe. The integration starts with the language, because I strongly believe that the very most important element of integration is learning the language. Once we learn the language, there are opportunities to know about your rights and responsibilities. So if we know about our rights, of course, we know that what our responsibilities are. These two elements, rights and responsibilities, can integrate us into a different culture. But when we come from a different culture, from a different country into in Australia, which is a multicultural country, why we call it multicultural country, and why our strength is dependent to the multiculturalism is because that we have kept our real identity. I'm not saying that we need to forget our culture and move on to new culture, because we reach a point that we will forget both of them. I strongly believe that we need to keep what our culture is, and through that, we go through the process of cross-cultural process, so that we know both of them. Because if we don't have our identity, we will never be able to identify another culture. Another culture is so new, and it's
Yes.
difficult to integrate. We integrate because we know our own culture. Uh, let's not mix the religion and the culture, because some countries they think that some religious attitude or custom or tradition is related to culture. No, culture is different. Culture comes from the society. Culture comes from the custom of the people who lived for a very long time, and they inherit it through generations. That is our identity, our language is our identity. We need to keep that. That's why Australia is keep pressing on the community organizations to keep their language, keep their identity, because through that we can integrate. So I believe we need to learn most of the important elements in our culture in order to integrate into a different culture. That's what strongly believe.
Um, I want to ask you about intergenerational issues. Um,
Oh.
you talked about it, and I know, it's a huge problem, isn't it?
It-
Especially for us migrants. So, how do you combat that? Because I
Mhm.
think, and I don't know if media is responsible for it. Maybe it is. Um, when we were growing up living in India, Afghanistan was this very modern country, very forward thinking. And then suddenly everything changed. And then,
Mhm.
you became a closed country where
Mhm.
women were not allowed to study, lot
Yeah.
we all know. I don't want to go through what happened. I don't want to relive that for you or for me. But when the first generation of migrants came, like people like you and me, um,
Mhm.
and I feel I'm a very very understanding parent, but I'm not. I mean, my girls tell me stuff that they don't connect with my point of view. I'm sure that's what's happening even amongst the Afghans who have come, say, 20, 30 years ago. And the children born and brought up here are children who've come in as as 5, 6 year olds. What is the issue there? How do you
Mhm.
combat something like that?
Well, this is a very difficult question. It's not within my field, but I can give an overview and a general
Yeah.
idea. There were some issues within the Afghan community. Therefore, during COVID-19, we discussed this issue with the team, and also a couple of professionals we had from the Afghan community. One of them was Dr. Amir Ansari, and the other one was Dr. Bassir, who provided these information sessions to the community at that time. Um, there are certain challenges that we need to know in order to address these issues in the community. It is very sensitive and it's very important during this period of time that we are living, especially for the Afghan community. The sessions were very successful. The community really welcomed the session, but we need to keep that going
Sorry, if
for.
you can hear that noise at the back, it's my dog wanting to come inside the.
Probably he wants to give a bit of information about intergenerational relationship.
Yes, she normally sits here. I've locked her out. So, yes,
Yeah.
sorry.
So yeah, look, in this area, I cannot really say anything because I'm not professional, and anything I say might have a flashback. And
Yep.
I
Yeah.
don't want to do that. Yeah, no, that's an issue that we really need to work. We really need to work, and once we settle the new arrivals in Australia, we will be more focused on those areas to address the issues in the community. So yeah.
Um, when I think this was in August, September, um, I know I got an email. I got an email, and like me, I believe hundreds of people got this email that
Yeah.
there are unattended Afghan children as young as 3, 4 months old who have come to Australia and specifically in Melbourne. And if you want to adopt a child or foster a child,
Hmm.
please join this group and come to this place at such and such time. And I was all ready to do that before I
Hmm.
got another email saying, please disregard that email. This is not true. Um,
Hmm.
were there many unattended children who came in? And have they been placed somewhere?
Yes, but not to that extent that those emails were circulating
Yep.
around the
So
network.
you know about that.
Yeah, yeah. Bakhtar has supported a child of 13 years old, and we found a family, an Afghan family in Southeast. The child is living with them currently and happily. We have arranged that through that minor migration, something that there is an organization that's looking after them. That was during the Christmas break, I think.
Okay.
We had a couple of contacts from the department. They were looking for a community organization to introduce a family. I got in touch with the team, with our members, and through our contacts and emails, I had an email from one of the families in the Afghan community who reached out to us before those emails. They wanted to adopt a child and not adopt to provide them
Foster. Yep.
shelter and a foster for the child. So I got in touch and then we arranged everything. The problem was that we had a few families, but everyone wanted to adopt the child. So but the child had his parents. I mean, they're living in Afghanistan, they cannot adopt him. So yeah, this family, a fantastic family, they're providing all the care he needs. So yeah, the child is living happily. There was one case that we were involved. Not anymore. Not anymore, I believe. Yeah.
Okay. Um, there are a few questions.
A
I
few.
will ask
Okay.
one. Chris wants to know, aren't, okay, maybe I should show this to you.
Hmm. Hmm. I just sometimes, religion can be a solution and also can be a problem.
Oh,
Um,
yes,
if you get it
absolutely.
right, if you get it right, that's okay. That's right. But if you get it wrong, then everything goes wrong.
Yep.
Well, religion, of course, there was a time that was very much needed for for um, for a system, actually, for a system, whether we call it religion or a system, a law or a rule. It has always been needed in humans' life. If we have seen, if we see centuries, that's how we came. But depends on that moment, on that situation, on that time. For example, we cannot implement a law that was used 200 years ago. For example, in Europe, it's not anymore relevant, especially with the technologies, with everything, with the life that is advancing so fast nowadays. There are certain things that need modification. We cannot live based on those rules and law that we created. We need to change it to our needs and requirements. I believe religion is something that you believe, and religion needs to be kept very private. And it's too personal to question someone or to say that, oh, your religion is this, you're supposed to do this. No, within your religion, whatever you believe, through your belief, through what your relationship with God is, you can implement those rules to you. Whether you pray 5 times or 2 times or once,
Or not
you
at all.
just try to, or not at all. You have different way of connecting yourself with the God. I mean, with whatever you believe. But going to church or mosque or mandir on a regular basis to show the people that you are a religious person and you're a good person, I think that doesn't justify anything. Um, it's more private, like your bedroom. It's needs to keep private, I believe.
I agree with you. Religion and politics, very,
Yep.
very polarizing. It has to be very private.
Mm.
Another one from Chris says, do you, in your opinion, has the system, has religion been fair to the women?
Oh, this is also a tricky one. Um,
Okay,
uh,
let me
I
rephrase
have
the question
studied.
for you.
Yeah, I
I
have.
would like to know this. Yeah, sorry, no.
Well, I have studied literature, French literature. Um, and of course, when you're studying language, you have to study the human's history, how it formed through generation, how they develop, implement laws, religion, whatever. Woman in many religion, I'm not gonna name, woman has never been equal and never been
In
considered
every religion,
equal.
Basir, in every
Yeah,
religion.
every religion has came for men, so we need to accept that. I'm not against religion, but there that's the truth. I cannot change anything. That's why I said religion needs to keep private and personal.
Absolutely.
We cannot make a law out of it. It's not a law. It's a personal choice, a personal belief. I need to keep personal. Yeah.
Um,
I
tell
don't want
me
to say
about,
anything because this platform is going to,
yes, I
bang.
know. I know. And I will not
Yeah.
ask you to say anything. I understand that. So, um, tell me about, the recent arrivals. I did meet some of them at your iftar.
Yep.
Um, the young people. What is Bakhtar doing with their resettlement? Because I think I did tell you that a couple of them contacted me and they want some kind of,
Mhm.
well, obviously some kind of jobs.
Yep.
Uh, I also met somebody. I think he's a doctor, and I had to explain. He wanted a job as a medical professional, and I had to explain to him that he has
Mhm.
to sit for exams. It is not just for him, it is anyone who comes from overseas and has to re-qualify in Australia. But as far as resettlement of these people are concerned, the new arrivals, not so
Yep.
new. I think 6 months in the country, maybe a bit more. What is your organization doing, and
Mhm.
how successful, if I may ask, has it been with the
Mhm.
new arrivals getting jobs? Do you know of anyone who's got a job and has started?
Yep.
Because I think the concept of volunteering,
Mhm.
which we've learned, both you and me, I mean, we both volunteer so much. I mean,
Yep.
this is my volunteer job, Bakhtar is your volunteer job. We both have
Yep.
paid jobs outside of what we are, outside of our volunteering. But the concept of volunteering is so new for,
Mhm.
migrants, that the fact that you will put in 8 hours of work and work on the weekends without being
Mhm.
paid is just not something that you understand immediately. It takes a while.
Absolutely, Saleha. Now, as I mentioned before, our services started since August, and since the arrived in hotel quarantine Victoria, there are services we provided. Interpreting services was one of them. Um, Currently, we have a warehouse. You have visited the warehouse in Noble
Yes.
Park. So, through our partnership with charitable organizations such as Rotary Club of North Balwyn, Beyond Disability, Get Together, St. Vincent de Paul, and a few other charitable organizations, we have been supporting the new arrivals from Afghanistan with household items, computers, washing machine, dryers, furniture, blanket, warm clothes, etc. Whatever you just name it, everything, including TVs. even mobile phone. We
You forgot computers,
yeah,
laptops.
computer laptops. Yeah, over hundreds of them have been distributed. We have supported close to 400 families through our referral system. The referral that we have and we receive is from AIMS Australia. The case managers from there, they're just referring the clients to get whatever they need. Spectrum, East Community Link, Southeast Community Link, it's called. Catholic Care. And we have Australian Muslim Women Center. Recently, we received a couple of referrals. So these organizations are referring all these new arrivals to our warehouse to get whatever they need. Uh,
I
they're
saw some people
short-term.
when I went
Yeah.
who were looking. Yep, yeah.
So we divided in two categories. There is short-term goal for us to achieve, and there's long-term goal. The short-term goal, of course, is the warehouse that respond to immediate need of the new arrival, which is a household item, whatever they need, they get it. But the long-term goal that we have for the new arrival is the integration. The very first sessions and workshops that we provided since they arrival of evacuees, was through our partnership with AIMS Australia. We delivered about 6 cultural orientation sessions. Through these sessions, that's all still available on our YouTube channel and also on our Facebook page. Also delivered through Channel 31. These sessions are really focused on the very basic information of a country called Australia, to recognize it, to know about their value, and also the interest. More importantly, the way of life in here. As you know, you have come from a different country. I came from a different country. The cultural shock stays for a while until we get used to with the society, with the new life. It's like being born again,
Yes, absolutely.
everything, and accepting or integrating into a new identity. It's a huge step. It's not easy. Yes, of course, we get our citizenship, we get our passport and everything, but it takes years to integrate, to accept that you have left behind everything that you grow up with and you're embracing something completely new. And with that new identity, you need to live the rest of your life. So, what we are trying to do with the long term goal is to organize the integration classes, the integration that can help these people find themselves in a new country and find themselves with the new identity and integrate with it and accept it and live with it. Because I believe in the past, there were English language classes for the new arrivals from organizations that they were funded through the federal government. Uh, they were providing the English language classes, but for the sake of Centerlink or the payment not to be suspended, these new arrivals, they were attending that class. They were physically in the class, but actually mentally and emotionally, they were not in the class, because that was the very first thing they did. They just put them in the English language class. They're not going to learn. How do you know? Most of them, they have never been to school. How are you going to force someone to learn English? That's why most of those classes failed in their record or in their analysis. It's a success,
Of
but
course
you
it is.
can
Yeah.
see so many people, they cannot speak language, or they can speak language at a very basic level, because from the beginning, from the very first step, we fail to know their needs. On a meeting that we attended a couple of weeks ago, that we need to listen to the new arrivals. They are not children, they're adults. We need to find out what their needs are. We provide information, that's our job. We need to provide them with the necessary information about Australian way of life, but let them make the decision. So if we provide them the opportunity, whether they start from a literacy class or building capacity class, let them do that. Then they will find out about the need of the language, how important it is. Once they know about their rights, they will join the class themselves. We don't have
Yep.
to force them. We don't have to treat them with their payments that's going to be suspended from Centrelink. No, if they know about their rights, they will know about their responsibilities. So in order to fulfill their responsibilities and understand more about their rights, they will learn the language. That's I strongly believe that's the very basic and very straightforward approach and strategy that we can use.
And how successful has this been?
We are this is just developed, and we are planning to start these classes early July.
Okay.
But the classes has already started in an informal way. We have a partnership with Oak Grove Community Center. They're running some classes for them.
And these are face to face or online?
No, face to face,
Okay.
and we are looking forward to start it face to face. We will be focusing on some literacy classes in Dari and Pashto languages,
Yep.
and then we will see what their interests are. If they wanted to go to English language class, if they believe they can learn it straight away, that's
And I suppose
there's no
at some
problem.
point they will have to, isn't it? Because what is the other
Yeah,
language that they're going to converse in? So I
yeah,
suppose the need for them to learn is also there.
absolutely, absolutely. If we provide them the information that one day, if you want to become a citizen of Australia, you need to know the language,
And
and
those
that's
questions that they have to go through.
yeah,
You and I didn't have to go through those
yeah,
questions, but
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Okay. Before I let you go, tell me about your placements.
Oh, placements. Yeah, placement is another area that we have been working. During COVID-19, we have worked with Holmes Glen College. We provided a placement for one of the students that did community diploma of community, and she completed her placement at Bakhtar, and now she's a volunteer at Bakhtar. So, which is fantastic because she loved the team. She is very much aligned with our vision and mission, so that's why she doesn't want to leave. And currently, we have recently we have got 5 students from
Wow.
Nari Warren South P12 College. We had 3 about 2 weeks ago, and last week when I had a meeting with them, they offered us another 2 students. They are coming to Oak Grove Community Center, the partnership that we have with Oak Grove, and they are completing their placements over there on Wednesdays and Fridays. And we are looking forward to have more placements from P12 College, which are boys, and they're very much interested to join our warehouses to provide support to the new arrivals.
And you need that.
And we very much need that. And last but not least, I just wanted to mention here that we have WDP, Work Development Permit. If anyone within the Indian community, Pakistani community, or Afghan community who are running through hardship or a victim of family violence or living with a disability or mental health, whatever issues they have, they can pay off their debt through Bakhtar Community Organization. They can get in touch with me and I can put them on the community work and they can pay it off through community work. Something to contribute to give back to the community. And at the
Yeah.
same time, there is an advantage you can pay off your debt.
Okay. That is great. Um, Before I let you go,
Yeah.
can you tell us what are the items that you need
The items that we need at the warehouse currently, there is a huge demand for blankets
because of winters?
um,
Yes.
because of winter,
I'll
heater.
send you some after the 12th. I've got all that ready. Yep. Everything after the
Excellent,
12th.
excellent, and a huge demand for computer and laptops still. Well, this is so obvious because if people want to integrate and learn the
Of
language,
course.
they obviously need a computer to do their homework. So, especially with the new technologies, internet, and everything, they need a computer or a laptop, something that they can use. And just want to mention that the computers and laptops we have delivered, especially those that were donated by Beyond Disability, those computers were ready equipped with Windows 10, Microsoft Office in it, ready to just plug it in and use it. So it was that easy. Um, yeah, just wanted to mention that.
Okay. Are you taking food items, canned food or anything or no?
If there are food items, yes, we have a project that they're gonna let us know. That's the PMRC Phase 4.
Yep.
We have applied. I had an interview with them a couple of weeks ago. The project will be announced that the results, who's gonna get it, who's not,
Yep.
mid June. We hopefully will have that, but at the same time, yes, if you have anything, we would love to have it because in our warehouse we have food packages too. And also we are planning. Just want to mention that there are so many things with the community. You know that once you start one thing, there another thing come in your mind. We will have a welcome party at our warehouse through our partnership with Rotary Club. So we organize barbecue and everything, and also make available all the items that people requested and needed. So they just can come and collect their items at the same time, enjoy the barbecue and the environment, and meet other community members.
Okay, Bilal
That's
Bhutto is here watching you. Bilal Bhutto, give me your warehouse address, please. I'm going to type it in. So, yep,
so. Is there a way I can type it in for you?
I'll type it in. So I'm just going
Okay,
to write Bakhtar
sure. It's
Community Organization.
yeah,
Yes,
it's 61 Heyington. It's
sorry,
Hey
61.
61. Yes.
Yes,
Heyington.
Heyington. Yes,
Yeah. Crescent. Noble
Noble
Park.
Park, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep,
Noble Park North. It says in
North.
here
Yep,
on
yeah.
the
I should have
GPS. But
remembered that. Noble Park North. Is
yeah.
there a number that people can call?
There is number of our warehouse manager Suleiman Anwar
So
Zaid.
I'm going to just bear with me while this is going through. Okay. So Suleiman.
Yes, I give you the number. It's 0475
Yep.
875
Yep.
789.
I'll just repeat that. So
Mhm.
0475 875 789.
Yep.
Manager.
I know that the address is a little bit tricky. When they get there, they
Yeah.
will see there is
Yeah.
a
I know.
yeah.
Yes, because it's
There's an empty space, but that empty space, if you get in, the warehouse is just in the middle.
yes, I think that's what you need to say because I remember we went round and round and
Yeah.
then we saw the park and I just walked in and yes, I think Harun
Yeah,
was there.
we are planning to put a sign at the front, but until then, we just want to give extra information for people that to find the place easily.
I hope your place is inundated with computers and
Thank
phones
you.
and blankets and everything else.
Yeah,
I'm
we are
sure.
planning to open another warehouse in the city of KC, but we were looking for a warehouse. Anyone who knows someone who has a warehouse in the city of KC, we would appreciate if they let us know because we really need it. People are moving in the city of KC and they need materials. They are traveling all the way to Noble Park with the public transport. So we just want to do something in here for them that's
Sure.
close by to their place.
What
Yep.
about the council? Council can't give you a space?
I have been in touch with the council. How they haven't got back to me. So it's a very weird, request because nobody asked for a warehouse in the past.
Yep.
Everybody asking for a hall to organize an event or something. But yeah, they are looking for it. They should have
Well,
something. I don't
if I know of anyone, I'm already thinking of somebody. I'm going to
know.
write his name as we speak, and I think he lives in city of Casey,
Yeah,
and I'm going
we
to
would
ask
like to
him.
pay rent as well. I mean, we're not gonna get it for free, but
But yeah, at a reduced rate.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
something that they can benefit as well because we are a charitable organization. Whatever contribution they make, they can claim it back from the taxation office. We're a charitable organization with the status of DGR. So whatever
Oh, you've got
contribution,
DGR. Okay.
yeah, yeah, we've got DGR.
Okay. Thank you so much, Basir. As always, lovely to speak with you.
Yeah,
And
likewise. Thank you, Saleh, for having me. This is
not
a
at all,
great
always a
platform.
pleasure. And I hope to see you on the 8th, but we will talk about that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Basir.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you, Saleh.
Stay well,
Good night.
stay safe.